Ramble.
Thank you to Mint Mobile, Liquid IV, Best Fiends, and Raycon for sponsoring today's episode.
Eugene, I would love nothing more than if you could introduce this episode.
Fuck you, Miles.
Hey, man, I fucking put you on the spot because I know you're going to perform.
Okay.
Get back out of there on the court, Eugene.
Okay, Dad.
And in 5, 4, 3, 2.
Hey, guys. What's up? It's the TryPod. You're listening to four of us. So Ned, he's here.
Hey.
And Zach.
Hi.
And Keith. And then Miles is here too.
Hey.
So we're gonna have fun time today, and I hope everyone likes what we talk about.
Yeah, it's a weekly comedy podcast, so hopefully you guys.
I just try to take it a different direction.
It's kind of
Last
funny.
week we came in like 1,000% blazing, so
Yeah, so now it's a little more
different energy.
muted.
This is a chill podcast.
Yeah.
We're chill boys. Chill guys, just hanging out, admiring Eugene's beautiful jacket.
It is. Well, I don't want to go down this wormhole again. But Eugene does look
No,
nice.
guys,
but I
it
don't.
is
But I
a
agree
nice
with Eugene.
jacket.
Let's not cover it because then he made a tweet, and then all my tweets were just about how hot Eugene was in my mentions. And
It
Me
was
too. A
spot
lot.
I
It was
agree.
a lot.
It was overwhelming.
It was
and
overwhelming.
I get the audience. I get that you love Eugene, but you know what? I also.
Let's talk
use
about
a
Keith.
compliment.
Keith's wearing a dark shirt.
Yep.
It's pretty
Yeah.
nondescript, but you know what? He looks good in it.
Ooh.
I would say that your
It's covered in cat hair. My life is
God.
covered in cat hair.
Yeah.
And there's nothing you can do about it.
No, there isn't. I've succumbed. I used to run my little Roomba type vacuum all the time, and now I've accepted that my house is just hairy forever.
It's just hairy.
Yeah.
It's just part of the life now.
You should get a Roomba that like does not only cat hair but like beard trimmings. So it's just like a completely hairless house.
Huh.
I want
Because I get beard trimmings everywhere, man. I got these little red beard goobers.
I got some ear fuzz.
I don't
Gotta-
have any ear hairs.
Ear fuzz.
Like the border of
Oh,
my
the
ear
lobe hair.
has some fuzz, and then every now and then I get one that is like, how when you find that one hair and you're like, little guy, how'd you grow so fast? How did you
Yeah.
grow a full inch and a half without anybody noticing?
You know what's weird is that if you look at your body,
I do all that.
and at some point you'll notice one abnormally long or thick hair.
Yeah.
That spot always keeps growing.
Yeah.
An abnormally long, thick hair.
It's weird.
What's up with that?
I don't know.
What's up with that?
Do you ever pluck one of your facial hairs and then you examine it and you realize it's 2 to 3 hairs fused together, and that's just what that pore does.
Yeah.
That's just what that hair follicle always is.
Yeah.
And you can split it. You can take it and you can grab the both fused parts and you can pull it apart. It's satisfying. Is it gross? Perhaps.
Maybe.
Perhaps.
It isn't, but for some reason, listening to you describe it is not making me comfortable.
Yeah.
Well,
All that and more
All that
on
and
today's TryPod. After years of fine print contracts and getting ripped off by big wireless providers, if we've all learned anything, it's that there is always a catch. So when I hear that Mint Mobile offers premium wireless service starting at just $15, you're thinking like me, what's the catch? But the thing is, there isn't one. Mint Mobile's secret sauce is that they are the first company to sell wireless service online only. So by cutting out retail stores, there's no crazy overhead costs that get passed down to you in the form of mystery fees. Instead, Mint just passes on the sweet, sweet savings direct to you. For people looking for extra savings, Mint Mobile offers premium wireless for just $15 a month. All plans come with unlimited talk and text plus high-speed data delivered on the nation's largest 5G network. Switch to Mint Mobile and get premium wireless service starting at just 15 buckaroos a month. Normal wireless plans are sometimes north of $70 a month. So you get Mint Mobile, you're getting 50 crisp dollars to spend on whatever you want. To get your new wireless plan for just 15 bucks a month and get the plan shipped to your door for free, go to mintmobile.com/tryguys. That's mintmobile.com/tryguys. Cut your wireless bill to 15 bucks a month at mintmobile.com/tryguys.
You guys should play with Magna Tiles. It's a kid's toy that's fun for adults too.
Are they Magna Tiles?
Yeah.
I'm sure that you can relate to this, Ned, but you can't have those little magnet guys, the tiny little bead ones anymore, because they're illegal because kids and dogs swallow them.
They're illegal.
Yeah, you can't buy them.
Tiny little bead ones?
There's like magnets that are like tiny little, like, and you can form them into little shapes and stuff.
Right.
Little dots.
But you're not supposed to have them anymore because kids will pick them up and eat too, and then it'll pinch like their organs, and dogs, same thing.
Fucking
Whoa.
kids.
I know.
Harsh
But these
my
are
vibe.
not edible. These are like big.
Okay, yeah, that's good. That's
So
good
that's
to have.
better.
That's way
But
What
better.
if we make
Dang.
edible magnets?
That's not a bad idea.
That feels like something out of Goop.
It's a goop. Yeah.
That's Goop.
Goopy.
Use magnets.
Yeah,
Make
use-
your life better.
Shout out to Gwyneth. Guys, I got a troubling email
What?
No.
this week.
From Gwyneth?
Not from Gwyneth. It's not from Gwyneth.
Gwyneth was she was gonna do an eat the menu, right?
Oh.
Gwyneth was gonna do it.
What do you think? What menu on earth is she gonna agree to eat all of?
Eat the menu, the
Gwyneth
palm.
Bath and Body Works.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Did
like-
is this the bike thieves reaching out because they listened to the
A
tripod and felt bad?
ransom note? No, it's from a man named Albert. I'm just gonna read it.
Oh.
Hi, Zach. Or hi. This was to my assistant email.
Of
Oh.
course.
So
You have an assistant?
no, it's literally just.
Don't let him know.
I thought he said assistant's email.
No, I have an
misheard.
assistant email just to filter out stuff, and I check it once a week. And please don't email it. I heard about the tragic accident that happened over the weekend. I am so sorry about
what?
Zach's death. He was a great influence to a younger generation.
What?
I was wondering if you've already begun funeral arrangements? If not, I'd like to put my hand in the ring. Should be hat. If you tell me what you would like in a service, I believe I can create a very competitive offer. I am so sorry about your loss. May he rest in peace, Albert.
What?
Is it from-
So I'm dead, apparently.
This is incredible.
Somebody
Did you
offering
respond?
to do a funeral for you? Wait, Zach, you have to do it.
So then Albert replied again. I don't have a copy of this email, but he then said something along the lines of like, I know how to hold a traditional Jewish funeral, but I also think I could add some pizzazz that would make it special and unique to Zach. So I'm a little upset with myself. I replied, hi, Albert. I'm not dead. Thanks for checking in. And as soon as I hit send, I went, what the fuck was I thinking?
What were you thinking?
I could have gone
Yeah.
with this and found. So then I replied again, and I'm like, but for when I do die, what'd you have in mind? Albert has not replied yet, but I hope to keep you guys in touch.
Well, he emailed your assistant. This is very confusing for Albert.
Yeah, he's like, wait, I'm not dead?
Wait.
Well, I didn't think you were a dead assistant. I thought Zach was dead.
That's true.
Do you think it was a prank? Like one of your friends or loved ones reached out to a funeral home to tell
do you
them that
think
you
it was
were
Miles?
dead? It wasn't me. But
I have
that'd be
no
funny.
idea. And also, this guy's
Miles-
email is like his name dot entertainment. Like he's not a funeral director. At least not that's what his email is.
Huh.
So I don't know where he thought and heard that I died. I would like to know how he thought I died. But also that he's like reaching out to be like, yo, bro, I could throw you a sick funeral.
Yeah.
Does he have an email signature with a business?
No.
It can be Jewish and even more. It can be even more than just a cool Jewish funeral.
I feel like you have to throw your own funeral.
So I did think about this.
Is that a video?
I thought it was
Oh,
a video.
yeah.
I've thought a lot about my funeral and how, in a dream scenario, I'd actually like to throw a preemptive funeral. That would be my dream, kind of like Zach's goodbye bash. And I think I love. Okay, we're gonna talk about funerals, I guess, for a little bit. Have you been to funerals where people laugh? To me, those are the best. When you're like celebrating life, as opposed. Look, there's obviously gonna be crying, there's
Right.
sorrow, but
Yeah,
if you can
there's-
tell a fun story and celebrate, that to me is so cool and beautiful.
There should be both, you know? You should shed some tears. You should smile and laugh and think back on good memories.
Let's talk about beef.
Oh, I love beef. I have a single filet mignon in the freezer. I'm waiting for the right time to thaw it because it'll take a few days to thaw, and then I'm going to cook it and eat it, and it'll be delicious. But Becky doesn't eat beef, so beef has become a solo venture in the Hamburgsburger household.
Yeah,
so
I
I'm
get
feeling
that.
the Ned's.
Well,
I'm
if you
feeling
ever
the Ned situation.
need like a friend,
We should have a steak party soon.
yeah.
Steak party!
Steak party.
You and me.
Making
Going
some
to
steaks.
town.
Yeah.
And as much as I love my two bosses going to town on a piece of meat, I'm talking about beef, the kind that you don't get at the grocery store, the kind that weighs on your conscience late at night.
Oh, expensive restaurant steak. Oh my God, yeah. $130 for a steak is too much, but it is delicious.
That's right, Keith. Now, today I texted you all, I want us to do a Squash Our Beefs episode. Now, obviously, we have brought up beef.
I would never put squash on my beef.
No.
I love
Spaghetti squash on a flank steak?
I love that.
Ugh.
Sounds good to me.
No.
Now, I get why you're confused, but to clarify one more time, we're talking about emptying out our vases of trauma.
Oh,
and
this is the boner episode.
This is the boner, picking
the
our
boner
boners
to pick with
episode.
you.
Now, we've started beef on the podcast with many other YouTubers, people. I think today is the day that we bring up beefs and we squash those beefs. We let those go in the year of 2020. I know it's March, but yeah, I think it'd be fun for you guys to squash some of your beefs.
Miles,
What?
you go first.
I go first?
Yeah, you
Yeah.
have beefs?
Yeah,
Set it up.
We didn't.
It must have been on your mind because
I
you
have-
wanted us to talk about our beef, so you must
Miles,
have beefs.
tell us about your feud with the Merrill twins.
I mean, for me, it really is advantageous to start beef with somebody bigger than me. But honestly, my beef is with you guys.
What about
What?
My
I like
beef
this.
is with you guys. Now, we've been in the pandemic for a while, right? Yeah. Okay. And we started doing remote podcasts about last year around this time.
Uh-huh.
Yeah.
Right,
Oh, I know where
right.
this is going.
Yeah.
I
yeah.
don't.
Yeah. How many of you feel super confident and comfortable with your at-home studio setup?
It's not great.
Yeah, but I will say every single one of your partners, except for Eugene, Eugene's perfect. Every single one of your partners, their Zoom background on You Can Sit With Us,
Yeah.
flawless,
Beautiful.
gorgeous,
Ah.
incredible. Their sound is impeccable.
Yeah.
It looks beautiful.
Yeah, crisp.
But then we go over and Zach's sitting in front of a beige wall,
Yeah.
just got out of bed.
Yep.
What's up? There's the beef.
Yeah,
There's
so
the beef.
I talk about this to Maggie all the time. She has a beautiful background, puts quite a lot of effort into rearranging our living room to have, and I say, it's a podcast. And I'm going to sit here
Yeah,
in the
that's
setup
fair.
that I don't have to put visual effort into because that's my little treat to myself.
I appreciate that.
Yeah, but it's quite ugly. I did rotate my desk. It took me 300 days to get there, but I did finally realize that I had been in the pandemic for 300 days. It was time to change it up a little bit. Mm-hmm. Certainly not enough.
Yeah.
I'm at that state. Well, I'll talk more later. What about
Consider
you
beef
guys?
squashed? Yeah.
All right, sick.
I can barely handle setting up the goddamn microphone anymore. It's been a year, and every single time I'm like, this is the worst. This is
Yeah.
not a. It's because I don't have I'm always thinking that we're gonna come back to the studio, so I never set up a permanent thing.
Yeah.
And that's on that's on me for
Yeah,
like
it's on Coach.
that's how
Yeah.
I want to mentally.
We were
It's wishful
optimistic.
thinking.
It's wishful thinking.
Very
Like
wishful at the
maybe it's
beginning.
right around the corner.
Dress for the job you
doesn't-
want, Miles.
Yeah, I
Maybe
agree.
the spike will go down. I don't need to make this a permanent thing. But also, like, my desk is in the back house. Ariel's desk is in the bedroom. If I'm in the bedroom, now I'm kind of invading her space during the day. And also, there's a non-zero chance that Wes is going to
Right.
like walk in with a tuba and blow up my spot. You may notice that in You Can Sit With Us, I also walk in. I'm like half naked, butt naked. I got to get ready for the day. I got to put down the baby. So there's just a lot of things going on. So what my gift to you is, Miles, is uninterrupted access to me.
That's beautiful. And honestly, consider our beef squashed. Yeah.
I'm in the back, the guest house. We have a guest house at
Yeah.
our house, and it's become the Keith's operations for all the work. So
Welcome to Keith
Corp.
Operations.
it's Keith Corp. It's my work, and I go to work, and I say bye. I'm going to work, and I go over to the guest house, and I'm there for several hours.
Yeah.
And sometimes Becky comes and says hi, and I said, "Honey, I'm at work," and she has to go home.
That's very cute.
But no, yeah, I agree that their setup looks a lot better, but my setup also looks bad out of respect so that hers can look better.
That's very good. Keith, consider a beef squashed.
Yeah.
Eugene, there's no beef, so consider, fucking attaboy.
I'm not going to say it's a girls and gays thing, but when we got home for the pandemic, I mean, if
Yeah.
you could look back at all the tripods remotely, I only have 2 locations I shoot those in.
Yes.
Because I'm facing a light source.
Yeah.
And I have to kick Matt out of wherever that is. So we've also communicated that if I'm doing something, because and I'm really uncomfortable in both of those spots, by the way.
Yeah.
That bed that I'm sitting on, I'm actually sitting on the very edge,
because of the way the window is. It's like very particular so that the lighting is right and that you get the right depth.
Yeah.
We take most meetings at the table with like, you've seen me with just like a painting right behind me and it's really dark lighting.
Right.
Yeah. I'm like 30 minutes preparing before trying to figure out cleaning
sucks.
the tables and behind. Yeah.
Gotta
I mean,
look cute.
they're probably smarter because they get to just be like, I'm just going to set it up and go. But
This is a segue into my bone to pick.
Boner
with
alert!
life. Fucking cleaning sucks.
Oh,
Cleaning sucks.
preach, preach.
No one told me that being a human would mean that I'm just cleaning all the fucking time.
And you can't hire a cleaner in the pandemic, so you're forced to deal with your own bullshit.
Especially now, my heart goes out to everyone who's like me, who is having to work out of an apartment. I don't have much space, and my office.
Make it easier to clean?
No, Ned. My office is my kitchen, is my podcast studio, is my shooting space. There's not much space, so everything I do, I have to set up and break it down so that Maggie doesn't come home to a fucking pigsty.
Yeah.
And oh my God, it gets so messy so quickly, and it never ends. There's never one day where I've looked around and gone, egads, I've done it. It's back to perfect. It falls apart immediately.
Yeah.
And it's this, I feel like fucking, what's his name, rolling that boulder up the hill, but I'm not even making any progress. It's just crushing me. I'm getting Sisyphus all over the place.
Sisyphus.
Yeah.
lip shits. 6 squish. Cicero. Lip shits.
Yeah.
You
Sorry,
guys
that's
with
what it
me?
reminded me of.
I'm with you, Zach. And also, we're at our homes all the time now, so all I do is do dishes. It's like I feel like
oh my God.
all I'm doing is doing
Dude,
dishes.
dishwasher, dishes every goddamn day.
Yeah, it's nuts.
I'm doing dishes 3 times a day.
Yeah.
I certainly hear you on the like, I gotta set up fucking lights and camera, film myself, but I kind of like putting away dishes. There's like a satisfaction in putting everything in its spot. I don't like scrubbing the pots and the pans necessarily, but you get a nice dishwasher full of clean ass dishes. You put every bowl in the spot where it's supposed to go. You put all the forks with the forks. You put all the knives with the knives. You put all the spoons with the spoons. It like pleases my sense of organization.
But that's every day for me. Am I alone here? Like, am I doing something wrong?
I do it
have
every
to,
morning, and it
Every
makes me
day
feel
I have
good.
to. Oh my God.
Yeah,
I do the dishes
good.
every
It
day.
makes
I
me
hate
feel like
it,
I've
but
accomplished something.
I'll also, because I know that Becky will listen to this podcast, is so for full transparency, Becky does 90% of cleaning, and that's at the minimum in our house. She's certainly much better at cleaning, but she also doesn't like it when it's not clean. Whereas me, I could walk through a dirty space and be like, yep.
Oh, sure. My
That's
threshold
fine.
is-
I'm fine with that.
Yeah.
So like, it's my comfort level. Like in my guest house, like just off camera, and all of our podcasts is a huge pile of garbage. There's a huge pile of garbage. If I were to angle the camera just a little bit, you'd be like, "What the fuck is all that?" I'm like, "It's a bunch of shit that I scooted out of the way for this one moment."
2020 was a bit of a wash. I think we all know why. Move on. But 2021, clean slate, baby. Let's do this right. A big part of that is hydration. With just 1 stick of liquid IV and 16 ounces of water, you get 2 to 3 times the amount of hydration as plain water. Liquid IV has incredible hydration flavors like watermelon, yum, lemon lime and passion fruit, yum, and yum. And they recently launched strawberry. Sounds yum. I had horrible food poisoning a couple weeks ago, but when I tell you that Liquid IV brought me back from the brink, I am incredibly grateful. So get this, it contains 5 essential vitamins, more vitamin C than an orange, and as much potassium as a banana. The company right now is donating 4 million servings in response to COVID-19. That's pretty dang cool. So grab your strawberry Liquid IV or other great flavors in bulk nationwide at Costco, or you can get 25% off when you go to liquidiv.com and use the code TRYGUYS at checkout. That's 25% off anything you order when you use promo code TRYGUYS at liquidiv.com. Get better hydration today at liquidiv.com. Promo code TRYGUYS.
Of the podcast.
Look, a lot of my cleaning is out of love. I don't, my office and my area is a hazardous mess.
Yeah.
But I have to, as Miles alluded to, it's a bad looking background. So when I film videos at home, I have to take over the communal space. And so I'd say about 1 to 2 hours of my day, every single day, is cleaning. And I want to die. I want to die.
Do men need a shit nest? I feel like I need a shit nest. I need a place where I have a pile of stuff, and I know where all the stuff I want is within that pile, and I'd prefer it to be in the pile than to be in drawers.
Well, it's because we're not working in the office. Your shit nest definitely used to be your desk.
And I loved that.
Love the good
It's
shit
how,
nest.
and it's
Drives
also
me nuts.
my dad had a shit nest. Like all of his work was always on our like
Love
dining
this phrase.
table.
I've never heard shit nest.
It's a shit nest. It's like if you'd be like, Keith, where's the calculator? I'm like, oh, I know where it is, and I would move 3 books, and I'd move this bowl, and be like, here it is, it's under the bowl, and they're like, why is it there? It's like, I don't know, that's where it is in the shit nest.
I'm with you. I think we're wrong, but I'm with you.
It's wrong. It's just like my brain can remember where things are if I set them down. And when I do put things away, then I have no idea where it is.
100%.
And I kind of need to see things to remember them.
Yeah.
So like I will always put all the shit I need the next day right by the door, which means it's like in the middle of the living room. I'm like, no, but I need it there because if I don't see it, I won't take it, and then I'll forget it.
I used to leave one piece of garbage. It was like the box that my medicine came in on the floor in front of the door, and I would say, Maggie, there's some garbage by the front door. Please don't throw it away because when I run out of the house tomorrow morning, I need to remember to take my medicine. And that visual reminder is the only way that my stupid broken brain is gonna be able to do that.
You know what? I'm gonna say it.
Say it, Eugene.
One, I think I'm truly the messiest guy out of the 4 of us. Like at heart.
Yeah.
You have the potential.
Y'all have never seen how I lived before I met Matt.
Yeah. I mean, I've seen your desk.
I've seen your desk, and we both have bad ones.
I'm literally the type of person. I had a crazy like hand painting on my wall because at night I would get bored and just start dipping my hands in paint and just doing this. I was literally like the stereotype of a artist in a rom-com in the 2000s.
Yeah.
Like I was slashing at the walls. I had no bed. I just had a mattress.
Yeah.
Sometimes I didn't have a sheet. I just had a mattress and pillow.
Oh, that's
that.
intense.
And all of it was because I got rid of a loft bed after college,
Right.
and then I just never bought a new bed. I just had the mattress.
Yeah.
So Matt's the exact opposite. Matt is also, I think, probably the cleanest person out of our group.
Yeah.
He's pretty clean.
He's
Listen,
pretty damn clean.
Becky's pretty clean.
Errol's pretty cool.
Yeah, Errol's pretty clean too.
Matt demands not
Don't you
just
come for that crown.
Okay, if you're doing the floors, Matt demands when we do it weekly, the dry run where you pick up the stuff, then the vacuum, then the wet run.
Sure.
Through the entire house.
That's a classic floor cleaning, unfortunately.
3 times.
I'm with you, man. But everyone else is going to listen to this and be like, yeah, that's how you do it.
I know.
I'm with you.
That's I was just like, I can just vacuum. But he also demands that every specific thing in a drawer is folded a very specific way, like a condo. So anytime I leave something out, he actually watches me and makes me fold it a specific way.
Can't you just let us fall apart?
But
let us just die slowly.
What I will say is, as the person I think who could be an example of, this is my brain, and you have to get used to my brain. This is how I operate.
Yeah.
I admit that I probably operate more efficiently with a system that I reluctantly adhere to, because now I know where everything is.
Yeah.
I always was like, no, this is how I operate. I don't need to know where things are. I will dig, and I'll go, where did I put it? And then 30 minutes pass, and I'm like, of course. And then I feel brilliant because I was like, of course I put it there. Of course it's like the 20th place I look. But
you found it.
Yeah, Matt has the fucking organization down to
No,
a T.
it's true.
Bless him.
So
if you
it is good. It's a good improvement to learn how to keep things organized. I have to admit it. I don't want to be just the dirty boy. I'm trying to be better.
I'm trying to be better, but it never ends.
I want to put barcodes on every single thing I own and put one of those Target kiosks in the middle so I can type in laundry
Need
detergent.
help finding your
and it'll be
item?
like laundry closet. I'm like, oh yeah.
Guys, when we take whenever we take a shower, he makes me clean the shower door.
Oh, squeegee?
Every time.
Yeah, I squeegee.
Yeah.
I
you
hate
gotta.
it.
Nuts.
Clean it and then spray the shower down.
Ned, are you with us or are you
For the
against us,
mildew.
man?
I'm obviously against you. How is that a question?
Oh my God.
You want
I'll
to squeegee
stand on
a
it.
shower?
You want a squeegee?
Look, I don't want to squeegee the shower, but I want to have a clean shower, therefore I squeegee.
Is it clean?
It's so you don't get water stains.
Do you see what
Right.
showers get like if you never squeegee them? they have
Those
like
beautiful little dots.
spackles of dots, and it gets builds up over time. Look,
That sounds like somebody who's, when they're showering, they can see. See, I have glasses, which means when I'm showering, I can't see anything.
You're in the blind
so
spot.
I leave the bathroom before I have my glasses back on, so who knows what that place looks like.
I'll tell you this. I can certainly relate to everything that y'all are going through because relatively, Ariel is much more clean than I am. Her clean threshold is higher than mine.
Yeah.
I'm like, the floors are fine. She's like, we need to sweep the floors. And, there you go. The person that it annoys more tends to win those arguments.
Yeah.
But as a me relative to, I think, the average, certainly relative to you all, I'm much more clean. I like putting things away. I like putting away laundry. I like it when my space is organized, and it helps me feel like I know where things are. What so like
I'm just snarling over here.
I get you, but like it's my point of view is valid. Your point of view is valid.
Ned, I appreciate having your perspective on the podcast.
Thank you. And when you live together, you have to find that happy medium,
Yeah.
and that's what's hard. I'll tell you my bone, which is related. My bone to pick. It's a double bone. It's a double boner.
Ooh,
Double boner.
a double-sided boner.
So I'm picturing like a Darth Maul situation.
Yeah.
Two dicks.
So I love, like I said, when things are organized and I know where things are.
Yeah.
My beautiful wife, she also likes redecorating.
Yeah.
Oh,
And-
a reorg.
Oh, I agree.
In the refrigerator, she likes she likes collating things. She likes to streamline things in the refrigerator. So I'm constantly just besieged by things randomly being moved to other places that are quote unquote more organized, and leftovers that have gotten, in her eyes, too old, thrown out.
Oh, that's the worst thing you can
And
do
I'm
to
like,
Ned is get rid of leftover
You
meat.
threw out my thing?
Literally beef.
I was going to eat my thing?
Yeah.
Why is it gone? I've abandoned my boy, abandoned my child. Here's my beef.
The milkshake.
And, we've talked about it. So she tries to let me know, like, hey, I reorganized this. Do you like it? And I go, honey. I have to say yes. And then I try and memorize the new spot. But, you ever have, like, you're so used to grabbing the second drawer to pull out the thing you need, the
100%.
knives or something, and then all of a sudden they're in the first drawer because that's higher to the counter and it makes sense. But years of muscle memory have trained you to reach for the second drawer, so you reach for it and then you open it and there's no knives there.
I'm with you, but also I in the same way, I'm like, Becky organized everything, and it makes sense where it is. I never would have done all those things. So Becky, I know you're watching and listening. I greatly appreciate it. Just to make sure on the record,
This is a good defensive move. This is a defensive
I don't
move.
want you to think in any way I'm taking credit for almost any cleaning in the house. I'm not. I'm
This is
bad.
good. Keith's
at
covering
that.
his ass.
And also,
absolutely appreciate
she does a wonderful
it
job
as
making sure
well.
the refrigerator is in nice shape and that the floor is nice, even though I'm
Okay,
just
we're
gonna
back.
walk all
Yeah,
over
Keith,
it.
we'll definitely cut that thing you just said.
No, we need that. We need that in.
Yeah, it's I think it's a trade-off, right? Here's a partner who is more organized, more clean than you. There's certain trade-offs, but the end of the day is you gotta appreciate that refrigerator looks nice, looks clean.
I think the lesson here
Don't throw out my beef.
is that our partners are right.
Yes.
Yeah.
There's
And we
no
don't
world
like
that
it.
we are right in this clean situation.
Yeah.
like it.
Again,
Now-
mine
Well,
No,
a perfectly
in your,
good leftover
in your own
is-
personal world. If you're not sharing with anyone, be as messy as you like.
Yeah.
But what it comes down to is someone comes over. People like looking at cleaners. You've been to people's places and been like, "Wow, this place is really messy." Like that's where they went out. You always keep
Again,
a
my
place
beef
clean.
is not with the partner. It's that it never ends.
Yeah,
it is
right.
that no matter what I do, I shall never
Tomorrow
conquer it.
is another full dishwasher.
I can't say it enough.
But I
hate it.
I didn't have a dishwasher for a long time, so I love the dishwasher. The dishwasher is
Why
the
don't you let
best.
Maggie do it and then you do things that she doesn't like but that you like?
We have some trade-offs, but frankly, I'm just there all the time. She goes to work. It's all
The pandemic problems too. It's just like you're living in your space way more than you normally would. So stuff gets messier. There's more dishes because you eat lunch there.
And you see it all the goddamn time.
Yeah.
You can't go, to the movies and forget about all your troubles. You got to watch the movie in your living room and then look over and see that fucking cup that's not in the sink. So you got to get up and put that cup in the sink. And then
regardless of where your personal cleaning habits lie versus your partner, if you have a partner, I would encourage you to talk to them about it and talk it through. Because now, after I explain my beef to Ariel, she checks with me before she throws my literal beef out. And she shows me the new organization of things so that I can give it a thumbs up and also start to understand where the knives are in their new place.
I could truly talk about this forever, but in interest of a variety of bones, who else it wants to get a pick in?
Who's got a boner?
I'm trying to think of a bone that I have to pick. I mean, I'm always upset with Taco Bell. I'm always upset with them.
Why?
Because they're just like, they're sponsoring other people.
Who they sponsor lately?
I don't know. I see people all the time be sponsored by them. No one even specific anymore. I'm like, why is this person better than me?
You didn't like
maybe your rate's too high.
Maybe your rate's too high.
We're not very good at Instagram.
They haven't even asked. I know, but who cares? You know what?
Yeah.
People come to me and they say, Keith knows about food. I trust him. So someone could buy that trust.
Someone would be that trustworthy.
Yes, obviously the trust will go down over time.
But the cash will
But
come in.
I would only endorse a delicious treat, like a Crunchwrap Supreme. Everyone loves a good Crunchwrap Supreme, right? Am I right, ladies and gentlemen? And actually, they didn't pay me to say that, so I hate the Crunchwrap Supreme.
Well, you're coming with conditions. That's maybe what it is. They've seen the video. You didn't like it. You had a bucket.
They play the video in their corporate office.
That's so funny.
So they show their employees me.
Well, you know what? That means they are giving us revenue, Keith.
The littlest bit.
We'll take it.
They need to be auto-playing that video on every computer in their warehouse.
Unless they downloaded it and then sort of...
That would be rude.
Oh, fuck,
That's
you're
possible.
right. I
They
bet
probably don't use YouTube.
And they've stolen it.
Let's sue Taco Bell. They illegally ripped
idea.
our content from the internet?
Don't even know if that's
Sue
true.
Moss.
Sue Moss.
Over on my other podcast, Guilty Pleasures, we have been revisiting a lot of childhood favorites. And I'm going to tell you, they don't all hold up, but every now and then something comes along that is just an instant classic that stands the test of time. And sometimes that happens in games. Best Fiends is that game. The top-rated mobile puzzle adventure. Best Fiends has a world of lovable characters, thousands of levels, and more content that gets added all the time. Look, we've been talking about Best Fiends for months. I don't know what more to tell you. It's just a good game. It's very good for being on the toilet. I'm just gonna say it. Right now, I've been rocking Buggles, the Dragonfly. I don't know what more I have to say to convince you how great that is. With Best Fiends, there's something new today and tomorrow and every day after that. Literally thousands of levels to play and counting. So if you never get tired of solving puzzles, good news, because with Best Fiends, the fun literally never ends. Just don't blame me if you become slightly obsessed. Download Best Fiends free today on the Apple App Store or Google Play. That's friends without the R. Best Fiends.
I don't really have any my current beefs are within the Pokemon community, not really, just the reselling market.
Keith, you're into Pokemon?
I know, right?
Wait, what?
I'm very into it.
Have you been, what?
But I'm into it because it's so hard to be into it. You can't buy anything. And I think my beef in general is with people creating difficult supply and demand change right now in a pandemic, because people have to, there's certainly wants and needs. Like, remember earlier on, there was the guy who did the hand sanitizer hoarding who got in all the trouble. There's people who were buying all the toilet paper. People, and then even the Xboxes and the PS5s, apparently you can't buy them because people have bought them up and are selling at higher prices. So like the idea of looking at a pandemic and like, this is a shitty situation and making it worse by creating an even worse supply and demand chain, that annoys me.
Yeah.
I think
Ticket
it's bad.
scalpers.
Ticket scalpers have
Fog
always
'em.
been the problem, right?
Fog 'em.
Bots that go into pre-sales, so you can't buy a ticket to Radiohead, and that might have been your only chance a few years ago to go even see Radiohead, but you sat all morning and you tried to get those tickets, you didn't get them, and then you didn't see Radiohead. And
Now
will you
look
ever see
back and you're
Radiohead?
like, I should have just paid, $400.
I should have just paid it.
Time,
It's
I would've done
Radiohead.
it.
I love Radiohead.
And I'll never see him like
And
that.
I don't know when they're touring next.
It won't be the same.
It won't be the same.
You're only at your zenith once. Radiohead.
Radiohead's probably still good. I
Yeah.
think they're still really good.
They don't have that youthful energy.
Tom York, I bet he's still dancing like a goof.
Time comes for us all.
It does.
That's the beef I have.
Eugene, what's your beef?
I have a beef.
Uh-oh, beef alert.
Uh-oh.
And of course, it's not with my amazing partner who definitely is right about cleaning the floor 3 times. I want to stress that. The
Partners are right.
I will clean it 3 times.
The
even though-
partners are right.
Yeah, all
even
right.
though
We
I
love
see the vacuum picker.
I love you, Ariel.
I see it pick it up.
It does work.
I know you get to make the floor wet and then dry and then dry again.
It is
I
how
don't know.
floors work.
I love all
Yeah.
your partners.
Everyone got nervous halfway through the podcast.
I was just like, whoa, it's too much about partners.
Maybe it's been too far.
No beef with the partners. My beef is with people who defend the British monarchy. Now, let me go into my
I was going to
thing.
say go off king, but don't, because we don't have kings in
Okay,
this
go
chat.
off,
Elected
Go off.
official.
Go off, non-white peasant. Here we go. So, one, why the hell do you have so many stakes? And apologies to British people out there who maybe grew up with this like total lie. I know it's like nationalism is real in every country. That I mean, you can be as obsessed with them as you want, but I mean, it's not like you can marry into the family. Like, you're not their cousin. Like, that's how it works. It's all about keeping a family in power through hereditary means. And then on top of that, like all this stuff with Prince Harry and Meghan Markle, you're looking at it and you're just like, people are just far right people in America are twisted. Like they fucking, tattoo Revolutionary War on their butts. And then in the same sentence, they're like, but you know who's right? Fucking Queen Elizabeth, because Meghan is of color and talks too much. It's wild. Also, we already had an example of a princess who had some personality differences with the monarchy, and look what they did to her, and she was white. What do you think is really happening? Everyone's just like, I'm going to talk about racism, and you know who I'm going to defend? The country with one of the worst colonial histories in this planet, if not the worst.
Right.
Why do you? I'm Korean and I'm speaking English right now. Like it's fucking crazy. And people are like, race doesn't have anything to do. Race doesn't have anything to do with the monarchy or the way that. I mean, I know it's a constitutional monarchy now, yeah, right. Blah blah blah. All that shit is still hereditary. Fucking monarchies. They give. You know how most of them started? Someone was like, dude, you know what? God said, me and everyone I fuck, usually my cousin, are gonna be the ones who have control over all of the wealth, over all of the policies in this nation because of divine right.
And all the guns I have.
And all the guns. It's in fucking insane. But, sure, we're distant enough from some of those moments where it became like clearly a more of a autocratic like system where they're just like, okay, yeah, I'm going to like change the entire church so I can get divorced to someone. Yeah, we're a little distant from that. I'm sure Queen Elizabeth has like her nice days, but I mean, she is very elderly, and she was like touring Africa in her youth, touring Africa over the colonies. Like India was still part of under the rule, the heel of Britain. None of this with race, when people bring it up, is there's no defense of it, because what it comes down to is you get one drop of color even near that, and that is like they were already upset that she was a divorcee. Like these antiquated rules, there's nothing good that can come from that. Think of any family in your community that's just like, you know what we're going to do? We're just going to keep these rules and keep all the money to ourselves and all the power. We're just going to sit here. Everyone else has to listen to us. You know what that's called? A fucking cult. Anyway, that was my bone to pick. Sorry.
Yeah, man, that was a
It just came to me. Sorry.
tomahawk
Hell yeah.
steak.
Big bone.
Big beef.
Damn.
Big beef.
Well, good for Harry and Meghan. I
getting
support
out
what
of
they're
it.
doing.
Oh, hell yeah.
It's weird to...
They can come stay at my guest house.
You're not Tyler Perry.
You're not
not
Tyler
good.
Perry.
I know, but like, just that's my smooth.
Next time, if there's any lesser,
I'm trying to be
estranged
like
royalty.
him. He inspired me. Apparently, you can just invite people who have been, shoved out of their royal family to your home, and they'll take it.
Look, it's like funny on paper, but pretty fucking cool that Tyler Perry stepped up when no one else did
Right.
and was like, I'm going to rescue these people.
You can have my house.
I never followed any of the royalty. It just never really interested me. So frankly, this whole story has kind of been one of the first times in my life that I've actually engaged with it. And every level of it is crazy. But then I also remember that here in America, we have people that totally disproportionately and blindly praise our leaders. It's a different way, but I think like there's something in certain humans' DNA that craves that. I guess it's autocracy, right? But it's like you want to worship somebody, and I don't fucking know where that comes from. It's chaos to me.
I mean,
We have that here. We absolutely have. People worship politicians like they're gods, and that they could do no wrong.
And with the monarchy thing, it almost seems like there's an element of a craving for storytelling. Like you can
Sure.
like watch a Disney movie and read about princes and princes, or you can like just create these narratives in your mind. It's like with the weddings and the formalities of the traditions and everything. It's almost like people turn it into a real life fairy tale, but it's not that.
and you know what else fucking gets my goat?
Go!
Goat getter.
Maybe we should just re-examine storytelling in general, because most narratives, fairy tales, like even like I don't fucking care who Ray's grandfather is. Like it doesn't have to be passed down
Hell
from a
yeah.
grandpa.
Preach.
You can be an average person to become a hero. The hero stories are so laid with nepotism and with this idea of being like destined. Fuck destiny. You make your own destiny, not what your daddy did or what your daddy's money, like how heavy his pockets were.
Last
like,
Jedi represent.
fuck that shit.
Even WandaVision, which we aren't going to talk about this episode because we talked about last week. WandaVision had a moment of that too. It's like, this is what you were born to do. Can we get away from those fucking stories? You're not born to do shit.
Yeah. Yeah.
Well, that's probably why people like it though. 'Cause
That's why they like it. It's
it
really
hurts
destiny.
when you say you're not born to do shit, and then I hear that, and then I think about myself. Then I feel really
I
kinda
wish I was
bad,
born to
and
do
then I wish
something.
that there were something that I was born to do, but it's not true. I wasn't born to do shit.
You were born to try, Ned.
No, I wasn't.
I could go over.
I could do anything.
No, you could have done anything.
could have done anything.
There's many directions to go, and I feel myself going down a dark one, so I'm going to pull myself away.
Get back to the light.
But I do think that there's also this element of the lottery system, right? Where like everyone's life has some form of misery, but as long as the monarchy exists, you can be plucked and become royalty and live this magical life, and maybe you too could become a princess. And I have to assume that's part of the fantasy involved there.
Everybody thinks that their big break of getting super rich is coming, and that's why they need to keep these horrible laws in place that allow people to get super rich. Because well, that might
yeah.
be me,
It's the same with
right?
Yeah,
you know,
billionaires or whatever.
billionaires. And you know what?
Yeah.
I mean, no, it's not just race. Think about gender. Think about like it was literally every single. Look up any European king in the past 1,000 years, or honestly, Asian king, any king, and think about exactly how those marriages, like your life as a woman, was to get married, produce a male heir, or what? Get your head chopped off.
Get your head chopped off.
You know, like it's there's no such thing as like it's not even a positive story for those who are like intimately involved. It's just this system that also then just produces like, honestly, it's just like one big eugenics experiment.
Yeah. Oh, and this is like a real the veil is being lifted moment where there was this illusion of they are marrying for love. I think, again, I don't really pay attention to this stuff, so you correct me if I'm wrong. And then Meghan Markle came in and was like, oh, no, but she's not the story that we're trying to tell, so we're going to write this out.
Yeah. I mean, Diana was the perfect example. Still modern day princess, but certainly one that she was not fitting in the way they liked.
That's why I don't watch The Crown. I hear it's great.
So much of human history has been this fucked up situation where, like, power and strong people with guns enforce the laws of a society, retain themselves in power, and like profit from it.
Yeah.
And now it's still kind of like that but then also like people with money equates to people with guns.
Yeah.
Greatest bone to pick of all.
The boat
Human
was
history.
Yeah.
God, I went too macro with that, didn't I?
No, that was good. It was
No,
good
but
beef.
it's it's kind of crazy that there is
There's a
still
whole
a king
cow.
in Britain. It's almost like it's
And then they still call countries the Commonwealth. They go tour the Commonwealth. All these countries are still under. They're still under.
Yeah, Queen Elizabeth's on the money in like islands.
It's crazy.
Isn't that crazy?
Oh yeah, like Canada.
Canada's a Commonwealth.
Do they pay money to Britain?
I think so. Do they?
I don't know.
I don't know.
Why didn't you
I'm not sure.
Miles?
I don't know.
Miles on the ones and twos?
Look, Canada, listen up. If you guys are paying money to Europe and you want to pay something, to us, we'll take it, and maybe we'll do that thing. You see that map that was redrawn where like Canada just
I'm gonna Google it.
where California, Oregon, and Washington just joined Canada instead, and be like, look, we can make Canada the richest nation immediately by taking the West Coast away from America.
Okay, it's the final constitutional ties between the UK and Canada ended with the passing of the Canada Act of 1982. In 2020, the UK left the EU.
That wasn't that long ago.
Wow.
Canada is the third largest foreign direct investor in Britain. The fuck does that mean? Does Canada pay taxes? Canadians do not give any financial. I don't know, guys. Well, you don't come to us for facts all the time. You come for us for hot takes. I'm gonna light this fire and run
A lot of
away.
half sentences there from Zach
and-
reading Wikipedia.
Like, I think a lot of people in
Doesn't seem like they
Britain like love the monarchy, and not just a nationalistic thing, but kind of like the stories and the traditions. I don't know, like the same way we like the Rockefeller Center Christmas party or something.
When you grow up, you're taught to like, the original founding fathers and how amazing they were, how they gathered around a table and they formed this great nation, and they were all, late 20s dudes who were like, if you really look at who they were just late 20s dudes who were like, I don't want to fucking pay money to them. All they're doing is taking my money. They aren't helping me with shit. Let's leave them. They're like, no, they'll kill us. Like, who cares? We'll kill them. And that was how America.
History class is propaganda.
That's America.
Fucking history class in school. They just teach you some bullshit.
Well, they just change how it was to make it so fancy. It becomes a fairy tale version of what was happening.
But what's great is that our generation, I mean, I'm sure many people
We threw tea into the harbor.
Many people in the UK probably share a very similar opinion. They have a negative view of the monarchy, or what it represents. And, Harry and Meghan are around our age, and they are, actively doing this to make at least a statement and a difference in their lives. I think it's just a different time, and hopefully this kind of continues and we don't go back into the dark ages where, again, they like fucked their cousins to keep it in the bloodline.
You're sitting
fucked
right
up.
next to Keith's Habsburg.
Look, man, come on.
Keith is a Habsburg.
My brother Brian says we aren't, and I said, "Are you sure?" Apparently did research in the Habsburg and says we aren't a part of it. And I was like, I don't know, man. Look at me.
You don't have the inbred aspect that they have of their jaw. Yeah, like that.
I think our generation.
Because I had braces, bro. I pushed my underbite back.
Are you serious?
Yeah,
Wow.
Dude, we should find out if you're actually.
I had a little bit of an underbite. Yeah.
Royalty. I think our generation, and because of how we were taught history, oh God, we're getting so fucking big. But we take for granted how closely removed we are from the atrocities of history and how they continue to reverberate into today. And I think about this with how we are taught about like the civil rights movement, right? The narrative that we're taught is they were racists, then the last one killed, then Martin Luther King fixed it, and then the last one killed him, and now racism is over. And that's kind of the narrative we're taught in school. We all know that that's not true. And you think about that with how we are taught about the impact of colonialism. In my mind, the British Empire is over, but it ain't.
No, it's
It ain't. I don't know about you, but I feel like right now I'm always looking at a screen, and now more than ever, unplugging yourself is easier said than done. But one of my favorite ways to rest my eyes and still get the content that I'm itching for by putting in my Raycon wireless earbuds and listening to something great. Look, they're just good headphones. They're cute, they're discreet, they sound great. I've been getting back into Macy Gray, been listening to a lot of her walking around the house, some good stuff. You got no dangling wires or stems. They come in a range of stylish colorways, but always in a comfortable in-ear fit for a more discreet look. The best part, Raycon makes great sound accessible to everyone with wireless earbuds starting at half the price of other premium audio brands. Raycon's offering 15% off to all their products for our our listeners, and here's what you've got to do to get it. Go to buyraycon.com/tripod. That's it. You'll get 15% off your entire Raycon order, so feel free to grab a pair and maybe a spare. That's 15% off at buyraycon.com/tripod. buyraycon.com/tripod.
No, people, I mean, very specifically, like the Holocaust is a great example.
Yeah.
Where it is probably the greatest, one of the greatest atrocities put on a group in human history. And it was within the past 70 years?
I have a living relative.
Living relatives.
Who was in a concentration camp and survived. He's still alive. And there are people that are saying that's
denying
a hoax.
that it didn't
that's crazy.
exist. People,
And
people can get so dumb even within one generation and revert back to an original propaganda. It is
He's had to
insane.
make it his life mission just to go around giving talks to say, this is real, and we shouldn't let it happen again.
So, I mean, that being so close to us, like the entire age of discovery, where much of the European colonialism happened and affected our current day, you know, like everything in society and with a lot of our race relations and the Eurocentric, blah, 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 blah. You guys know. People deny that in the same way, and that's already like, what, a couple hundred years removed, 100 years removed. You can do that within a parent to a child can tell their kid the Holocaust didn't exist, or a parent to a child can say, oh, immigrants from these countries don't experience a certain type of racism because racism doesn't exist. You then take it to the level we're at now. I mean, that is the scariest thing, because you're already incorrectly taught history in schools, then you're incorrectly taught at home, and then you form an even worse opinion independently. There's no solution to like mass educate everyone. And the problem is that what it comes down to, and what we always continue, is that there's an inherent bias that people have, and a lot of that is racism, and a lot of that is sexism, and that's where you're just like, oh, where did you learn that? I was just like, oh, it's just in you, and that's sad.
Maybe you're born with it. Maybe it's racism.
Supple brains. Supple brains are what I have a beef with, because a supple brain will remember the first thing it's taught, and it's really, really hard to unlearn what you're taught. So like that is like where a lot of things come from, is like families can like, choose homeschooling or like places that, education is a state by state thing. Mm-hmm. It's not there's no federal education standard, really. So every state gets to decide what they teach. So all these young brains in different places, in different counties, can learn things that are not exactly as true as they should be. And then it's really, really hard to unlearn. Like you can't, if the first time you heard how planes fly was explained to you in a wrong way, you'd be like, well, that's how it is. And when someone else would say that's not how it is, you'd be like, no, you're wrong, because what I learned first has to be right. And that's just like
brothers.
That's how brains work. Like they really have a hard time unlearning.
Yeah, it's very hard to admit that you're wrong.
Yeah.
On, like anything.
Yeah, anything.
If you learn something one way and then you later learn that it's actually a different way, you're like,
It's tough, because it makes you distrust a lot of your brain, and it's much harder to unlearn everything. So you're like, well, that's probably, I must just be right and they're wrong.
Something I've been thinking about lately is, what sort of implicit biases am I already passing on to my 3-year-old son without even knowing it?
Yeah.
For example, this boy loves trucks. Just freaking always talks about trucks, plays with trucks. He knows all different types of trucks: crane truck, dump truck, whatever,
Loves
power
trucks.
roller. There's so
Dump
many.
truck.
We all love dump trucks. But I think to myself, why does he like trucks so much? Is there something like inherent with? Is there like something with an inherent gender thing of like boys liking trucks? And then I thought, like, what if, like, I, as a boy dad, who I am a person that likes trucks and like wanted to be an engineer at one point, what if whenever he talks about trucks and plays with trucks, I like get more excited or am engaging with him more because it is actually also one of my interests, and I don't even know that I'm doing that. And when he does something else, I don't know what he loves trucks so much. There's
nothing else. He's a one-truck mind. He's on a one-truck mind.
I don't know, playing with dolls, say, which he has done, and not as much as trucks, though. It's like, what if I am like implicitly kind of creating a feedback loop of liking trucks because I like trucks. I don't even know that I'm doing it.
I appreciate they have that self-awareness, though.
Yeah,
That's
that's
true. I mean, I like
fantastic.
frisbees because that's what my dad preferred to throw with me. If I were to choose like a football or something else, he would prefer a frisbee. So eventually I was like, okay, we'll always play frisbee. And now I like frisbee the most of those things because I'm the best at frisbee.
I mean, your awareness of creating like subconscious biases is already like a huge first step because you can't help doing that, especially as a parent. You can't help doing that as just a human sometimes.
Right.
But like taking to the extreme of your example, then you have many dads who would like hit their child if they were playing with a doll and then like give them so much positive reinforcement if it was a truck or a toy gun.
Yeah.
I mean, that's unfortunately like the history of like gendered parenting.
Yeah.
Your awareness though, I mean, you can't also change yourself, so you can't be like, I'm going to force myself not to be excited when he talks about a truck.
Yeah, when he asks how something works, I'm like, well, let me tell you.
The pulley, it's the fulcrum.
There are things called electrons inside all of these.
Yeah. No, but I mean, like, I think that awareness and like understanding that people can deviate and that you are open to the change and also you're open to changing yourself. I mean, I think that's what we're all trying to strive for when we discuss these things. Because we could also be wrong in our own perspectives too. Like I'm obviously biased in my own way about monarchies, but I think that that I saw a great tweet recently saying like you should just like be open to the fact that you can learn so much more when you realize that you can be wrong, which is I think a philosophy we've always tried to push forward.
I love being wrong. It's so fun to learn something new and go into a topic and assume that you don't know.
I don't love being wrong in the moment, but I
No.
appreciate having been wrong and then changing my mind.
Yeah, Zach, what was that about
don't know if
avocado
that's-
oil?
What about avocado oil?
Oh, it was olive oil.
about
Rancid.
Zach.
Okay,
Oh
that
boy,
shit's still real.
You're gonna get another email, man.
By the way, I heard recently that there is olive oil you can cook with. It's just not extra virgin olive oil because olive oil in and of itself has a high smoke.
what?
You can cook with olive oil.
You can cook with olive oil
It's
anyway.
just that a
just
lot of olive
don't
oil in the
fry it.
No, Zach,
You're
they're
not
gonna get
supposed
you-
to deep fry stuff,
Right, yes, of
or like
course.
fry high heat because it has a low smoke point. But there is olive oil that's not extra virgin olive oil. Regular olive oil, you can use a high smoke point.
What?
I'm making this shit up. I saw this once.
What?
I could be wrong.
It's the olives, I think.
I'm going to
not
go
the-
ahead and say I'm thrilled that we started with cleaning because we started with cleaning and we ended up with human history. That's what this podcast is all about.
That's what you come here for, baby. Well, Miles is giving us the wrap-up sign, but hey, join our community at Triceratops over at patreon.com/tryguys. We'll keep talking about human history and how Zach loves olives. Also, tryguys.com, get the merch. Now it's time for our final segment, where the youngest and least experienced of us, Miles time.
Miles time.
Miles time with Miles.
It's advice that'll go for miles. Tune into your
Miles time.
It's advice
We're gonna do a big energy shift over here, talking about history.
Miles
You told us to start talking about bone picking.
That was perfect.
Can I be honest? I'm interrupting the song right now.
Yeah, no, you talk over
My
it.
bone to pick was about my partner. But suddenly everyone was, it was like, oh shit.
All of us realize
Everyone went straight to
they do a lot more work than we do, so we're
blah.
shouldn't.
And I was like, what the fuck is bothering me right now? I don't know, the British monarchy.
Fuck you, Piers Morgan.
Yeah, fuck you, Piers Morgan.
He sucks.
Y'all heard about vegetables? Greens. Collard or otherwise. Bell peppers.
No.
Fruits.
Spinaches.
Those are vegetables.
Broccolis.
Yum.
Grapes.
Fruit.
Not a fruit.
Well, apples.
Fruit.
Okay. Artichokes.
Vegetable.
Vegetables.
Grocery stores are too scary. Grocery stores are too scary. It's 2020. You don't want to go to the grocery store, but you want to feel that feeling that you get when you reach inside the grocery store. Ain't that right, Ned?
You reach.
I'm not sure where this is
inside
going,
the
but
grocery store. When you reach inside the grocery store.
Reach inside the grocery store and pull out something sweet. Y'all gonna want to get a big fibrous dump after.
Yum.
So what y'all's gonna want to do, get your vegetables, and on the way home, think about them.
Think about them.
And y'all gonna get home and you're gonna be like, okay, I'm gonna put these vegetables in the fridge. No! Get out of there! Take those vegetables out of the bag.
Put them in your bathtub.
Put them in the tub. No, just playing. Take your veggies, slice them up, and put them in a jar. Now put those front and center. The human eye is a fantastic beast. You're going to see the veggies in the jar pre-sliced, and you're going to think those are going to be super easy to eat. If they're in a bag underneath the cupboard, underneath the ham, you're going to go for the ham. Put the veggies, broccolinis and otherwise, sliced up, inside of a little jar and think, that's to go. You can take vegetables to go. No, it's a Starbucks, bitch. You're going to take those peppers out and you're going to be like, that's a bell pepper to go. And I'm having it on the couch with my mouth. Easy does it, Charlie.
This is great advice, actually.
I love this.
This is your actual first good piece of advice.
I'm giving 100.
I don't know about cutting them up. That might dry them out.
Depends on the veggie.
Depends on the veggie.
The vegetable.
I thought your advice was going to be to jar pickled veggies, which we've been doing a lot more of at my household and love it. Maggie's now making kimchi.
Oh, shit.
Oh, shit.
She found this like adorable Korean grandmother teaching her daughter how to make it and watched the whole video and like spent an hour making kimchi, and it's great.
Kimchi.
Yeah, that's what we call her now.
Mm-hmm.
I like kimchi.
But this is like psychology 101. This is cool. This is like trick your brain into eating better.
It also just makes so your veggies are always going to be spoils and they're going to get the sickness. And you don't want that, Ned.
Oh, so you're like cutting them up so that like the clock is ticking.
The
clock is ticking.
You have to eat them.
Well,
See,
it's
that's
like,
the part I don't like.
you don't necessarily need to, there's lots of ways. You can also put a little folded up paper towel in there, and it's going to keep them from getting too moldy. But what I like about it specifically is it saves space in a way.
No, it doesn't. No, it doesn't.
Because the jar, in some ways, is less obtrusive than a bag of spinach. But spinach is not really one. I do carrots, celery, and you got to pre-cut the celery so it's the right size, etc.
Yeah.
I kind of like. I thought you were gonna put a.
Miles.
Yes, Eugene.
Done a lot of fun voices. This podcast. So many fun voices.
It's my neighbor, Eugene.
Oh, hey, Miles.
Hey, Eugene.
How
You'll
you
come
doing?
over?
I don't know. I'm allergic to vegetables.
Oh, we'll get you some beef.
Oh, well, I already picked my beef.
Okay.
And it's with the Queen of England.
Very nice.
Beef in a jar.
Beef in a jar.
I like jars. We use jars a lot. We don't use plastic bags. We use jars instead. It's a really great way to have your leftovers or
They're
like
fun
extra
looking.
things. And also that you can keep using them, throw them in the dishwasher. Now you got a new bag tomorrow. And it's
Fancy.
just better than bags. And you can also pickle with them. But my only thing about vegetables is I think vegetables should be enjoyed more in the morning.
Love that.
I think you can saute some green beans with your eggs, and you'll be surprised at how delicious that meal is.
That's incredible.
Preach.
We don't have a lot of vegetables for breakfast, but
You let a little yolk run over your veggies.
oh my god, it's incredible.
Living life.
Like kale and do some sauteed kale and carrots for breakfast would be delicious.
That's cool. I haven't
Yeah.
done that. I've been doing
Yeah.
a lot of rice and eggs
Yeah,
recently.
well, you could throw some of those vegetables in those rice.
That's good.
This has stayed with me forever. We were at VidCon one year, and they have this like buffet booth, and it's an omelet bar. And Keith went up and was like, "Can you just saute me a bunch of vegetables, and I'll take some eggs on the side?" And I'm like, "You can do that? You can just ask that?" Because like, I'm like, I didn't really want an omelet. I just want a fuck ton of
Yeah, I
vegetables.
just brought him a bunch of
And
vegetables.
I mean, I did that for myself sometimes, but to do that at a buffet, pro move.
They'll do whatever you ask.
I'll truly. That was 2-3 years ago. I think about it to this day.
Wow. Incredible.
I have a request. I've been sitting on some advice that'll go for Zachary's for a couple months now, to be honest. And I think we should do an episode where we get to take a stab.
Agreed.
And bring some swag
Wow.
of knowledge.
So maybe next
So
time will
wait.
be an advice episode.
So maybe Miles talks for 50 minutes, and then each of us gets 2.5 minutes to give advice.
I would
Be
love that.
Silent.
Everyone must produce their own
Terrifying.
theme song.
I would love it.
I do want to hear your advice, though.
Well,
So I'll have to save it.
You're going to have to subscribe for more.
Jesus.
Jesus Christ.
Well, we've already wrapped this episode up. So, goodbye.
That's
Keith, hit us with the official TryPod theme song.
It's advice that will go for Try Guys. Try Guys will give you advice time. It was time for a gross and trying to Try Guys ready. Give her 11 how much out in a mile's time. And then Try Guys. And then, thanks for listening. Thanks for listening.
We're giving advice next week, right?
Yeah.
Until next time, stay beautiful.